Now, this topic here, subtotals, what do we use it for? Subtotals. Subtotals means that if you have a table containing records, okay, so you can make groups of records and you can perform some operation, you can apply a function on each of the groups. So you can create groups of records and you can apply the function on each of the groups. Okay, so how are you going to do that? Let's take an example over here. So we have an employee table and here you can see some of the employees are clerks, some are salesmen, there are managers, there is a president, there are analysts. Okay, so this particular employee table, what we want to see is we want to uh, find out the sum of salaries of only clerks. मीन्स जितने क्लर्क्स हैं उनकी सैलरी को ऐड करके उसका टोटल मुझे देखना है. So how many clerks do you see here? 1, then we have 2, 3, 4, right? So I just need to add up the salaries of these clerks. Not all the employees, only the clerks, right? So how will I be doing that? So for this, I will be using a subtotal function. So first I will tell you the subtotal function. So how am I going to do it? So I'm just writing here subtotal of sum according to designation, according to job, sorry. Just a second. I'm also going to wrap the text. So I'll go to cells, alignment, wrap text automatically, click on OK. So subtotal of sum according to job. So how am I going to do this? What I will do is I will use a function which will automatically group all the rows. Okay, let's try to create a group for the rows. So I have just copied this over here, right? How will you group the rows? Can anybody tell me how many clerks do you see?
Four.
There are 4 clerks. Very good.
4.
How many salesmen do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Okay. How many managers do you see? 1, 2, 3.
3.
And we have
3.
analyst also. How many analysts do you
2.
see? 1 and 2.
2.
Okay. And there is one president. And anybody else? No. Now this was a small table, so it was easy for us to figure out how many clerks were there, how many salesmen were there. But imagine if you have a table which contains thousands of records. So आप खुद calculate करोगे क्या? What you need to do is now figure out how much are the clerks getting. So this one, then next you just come down and see, okay, this is the next one, then this is the next one, and you try to add up all these values. So you are doing this manually. But our task is, now your boss asks, okay, how much are the clerks getting? How much are the salesmen getting? How much are the managers getting? So you have to manually calculate this. Okay, so will you be manually doing this work? No, you will be using a subtotal function for doing this work. So for that, I'm going to just paste it over here. And I'm going to use a subtotal function. And just a second, students, let me just set entire. Okay. So I'm just going to use a subtotal function here equals subtotal. Okay. Open the bracket. There are you can see there are two arguments which are needed here. One is the function which you want to apply and one is the range. So function what you want to apply is what? Which function do you want? What the boss asked you was, I want to see the total salary which I am paying to each of the employee types. Like how much total salary I am paying or how much money I am spending on giving the salary to the clerks. How much money I am spending on giving the salary to the managers, or how much money I am spending on giving the salary to the salesmen, right? So for this purpose, the first function which I am using is the sum function. Yes, students, just be a little cautious over here. I'm using the subtotal function. In case of function, it takes up the a function index, that is a specific number which is given to the function, right? So now this index, if you want to check the index, now this subtotal function works similar to your Excel, right? So that is why to check the index of the function, you can just use that. I'll tell you how to check the index for the function. But because in our example, we are using the sum function, so I am going to use the index 9 for the sum function. Okay. So the function which we are going to apply, that is sum, and on which range. So range is salary. We are going to calculate the sum of salaries. Okay. So that one, and close the bracket and press enter. So right now I am getting the total sum of all the salaries. If you just check the total sum over here, let me check the total sum by using the sum function. Okay, let me see auto sum. I don't see auto sum here, so okay, I have it. Equals sum, and I'm just going to add up all the sums, all the salaries, and so you see that both the numbers are the same. Okay, this is the total sum, total salary given to all the employees, which is 29,125. So you are getting it over here. But now you want to check the salary only given to clerks. So what are you going to do? So place your cell pointer anywhere within the table. So मैंने अपना cell pointer रख लिया, and I am going to go to the standard toolbar here and just click on this button auto filter. Now we are going to check the salaries for clerks. This is one way. Okay, I'll tell you the next way after this. So over here, I want to check the sorry. I want to check the salary only for clerks. So I'll go to this job, and you can see this drop down arrow. Just click on the drop down arrow. Everybody remembers filtering, right? So we'll just click on this all box, and we want to check the salary total sum, total amount of money given to clerks. That is, I'm going to check clerk here, and I'm going to click on OK. And now you can see that only the records of all the clerks are being displayed, and the subtotal has also changed. You can see the subtotal is now displaying what? 4,150. Earlier, what was the total sum? It was 29,000 something. Okay. But now what is it displaying? Only 4,150. Now I want to check the salary for the salesman. So again, I'll go to job, remove the check mark from clerk and click check it on salesman. On OK. Now, how much are the salesmen getting? 5,600, right? Then I want to check the salary for managers. So what am I going to do? Again, I'll go to job, remove the check from salesman, click on manager, click on OK. So you get to see that managers are getting the highest salary. These salaries are in dollars. Okay, so that is a lot, right? And I can also check the salary for more than one, like how much is the president and the managers getting. So I'll put a check mark on president also and manager also and click on OK. Now you can see that your table displays all the records of managers and president, and together all of them are getting $13,375 as salary. Got it? Now let's check all, click on OK, and now you can see that you get a total. Now you will be able to see that the total salaries everybody is getting is 29,125, right? But this way is kind of inconvenient. So instead of using the subtotal function, we use the subtotal option or command from the data menu. So firstly, I'm going to place my cursor here and switch off, turn off this auto filter. Okay. Now I will be selecting this table and I'll go to data menu over here, and from here I will select this option subtotals. You can see data menu subtotals option. In your Excel also you will find the subtotals option in the data tab. Okay, and same in the OpenOffice Calc also. So I'll go to subtotals, and now you can check out this dialog box over here. First group, you can make groups up to 3 levels. But in our case, we are only seeing, because we are just starting with this, we are only going to see the subtotal for one group. Okay. In your syllabus, more than one group is not there because it would be beyond the scope of the syllabus of your textbook. It is just to make you acquainted with this topic, right? So we are going to concentrate on first level grouping only. That is only one single group we are going to create. Now, how are you grouping the table? आपने क्या किया था? आपके बॉस ने आपको क्या बोला था कि how many are clerks getting, how many are salesmen getting, how many are managers getting, analyst, president. So all the people, like all these categories, they belong to which field? The job field. That is, you are grouping this entire table based on which field? The job field. आप जॉब के बेस पे पूरे टेबल को ग्रुप कर रहे हो, राइट? सो दैट इज व्हाई यू आर गोइंग टू सिलेक्ट ग्रुप बाय में आप क्या सिलेक्ट करोगे? यू विल बी सिलेक्टिंग जॉब, राइट? Don't click on select all columns because you are grouping only based on one column, right? Now calculate subtotals for. Now subtotals will be calculated for which column? You are adding up all the salaries. Okay, so you will be selecting in this particular box, you will be selecting what? Because you are calculating the subtotals for salary column, right? Next is use function. Which function are we using? What are we calculating? We are calculating sum. Okay, you can apply any of these functions like count. If you want to count, we will in the next example we will see that also. If you want to count the number of employees in each department, like the boss says that okay, I need to fire a few unwanted employees from each of the departments, just count the number. Like suppose because of this pandemic there has been a restriction, a cost cutting going on in all the companies, because of which people lost their jobs. So there is one such company where the manager says where the boss says or the president takes a decision that okay, I'm going to have only 2 clerks instead of 4 clerks in the department. So what will happen? Now the rest, he wants to know what is the total number of clerks, what is the total number of salesmen, what is the total number of managers, so that he gets the number. If the number of employees in each of the job posts or in each of the designations, they doesn't exceed a certain limit, they can continue working. And if suppose they exceed a maximum limit, some of them have to be fired from the job, right? So we will see that a little later. So use function sum. and click on OK. And now you can see something. Let me just set the font and go to format, columns, optimal width. And now you can see analyst. You can automatically see the change. Can you observe what is the change here? The Calc has automatically grouped the various records. Okay, it brought all the analysts together, all the clerks together, all the managers together. President only one was there, and salesman. Okay, and now it is showing you the subtotals. That is total salary given to analyst sum, which is $6,000, 30,000 plus 3,000, $6,000 being given to the analyst. Four clerks are there and they are getting a total of $4,150. Managers are getting a total of $8,375. President, only one president is there, so only one group consisting of one record only. And four salesmen are there and they are getting these salaries, and the total sum is this 5,600. Okay, and all together everybody is getting this much. Now this total salary you can remove. Why? Because this total salary was we had applied the sum function over here. I had used a command for displaying the uh, formula. Yeah, so we had applied a formula here that is sum. Now earlier it was only the salaries. Okay, now this particular column also contains the sum total. So these sum totals are also added here. So that is why what I am going to do is remove this total salary thing. I'm going to remove because we are already getting a total salary over here. So it not only adds up these, it not only shows us a job wise subtotal of all the employees, but it also shows the total sum, that is the total salaries given to all the employees as well. So this is your subtotal function, which is a very easy function over here, right? Now you can also see there are some pointers over here. If you just click on this, you can just like I clicked on this minus sign and it turned into a plus sign now. Okay, I collapsed all the analysts. So now the analyst records are hidden. They are not gone. They are just hidden and you can only see the sum total of their salaries. There is another minus sign, just collapse it. Click on all of them and you can see that you can also choose to display only the total sum. So this is what this comprehensive data you can present it to your manager. So now because your manager doesn't want to see all the information, he only wants to see how much total sum am I giving salaries to each of the type of employees and the total salary. So he'll be very happy because you processed all the data and you gave a comprehensive evaluation to your manager. And later on when you come back, you can also click on these buttons to expand them. Right? So here we go. And this way, all the data is now completely visible in your. So this was employee table. Let us see one more example over here. We have a student table. You all can see the student table, right? So I'm just going to copy this and sheet one. I'm going to auto format all of them, and now you can see this. It's a blank cell because of that. So I'm right clicking and I'm pressing delete row. Now, what is this table? It contains name of certain students who belong to different streams. Some are medical students, some are commerce students, some are humanities students, some belong to non-medical branch, okay, and some belongs to, okay, and that's all. And it shows their amount of stipend which they are getting normally, because in those students who carry on higher education in PhD or MPhil or something, they get some kind of a stipend, okay, because they are also involved in some kind of research, so they get some stipend. And average marks, that is the usually percentage is considered as average of of your entire year. So their average marks are given, their grades are given, and their classes are given. The class 12th A, 12th B, suppose I mean, of course, students in our school, they don't get a stipend, but we have just considered a hypothetical school or a college where students of most places, 10 plus 2, that is after 10th class, 11th and 12th, students go to college to attend them. Okay, so suppose we are taking this kind of a small example over here. So what we want is, I want to first check uh, how much total stipend is being received by each of the streams. So I'm just writing the question here. Display the total stipend money spent on each stream. So that means I have to display the total amount of money being spent on each of the streams. Like how much are the medical students getting? 400 plus 400. Okay, that is total of 800 rupees is being given to the medical students, right? Commerce 450 plus 300 plus 300, that is a total of 950 rupees they are getting. Okay, so this way I want to find out a subtotal based on which field over here. Can anybody tell me? First tell me the field on which, or the grouping field. You have to tell me the grouping field. You have to total field on which the function will be applied. Okay, function applied here. Okay, and you have to tell me the type of function. Quickly take a look at this whole table, look at the question, look at the parameters which I am asking for, and give me the answer. The question says display the total stipend money spent on each stream. Okay, that means how much am I going to spend on medical, how much total stipend is given to medical students, how much total stipend is given to commerce students, how much total stipend is given to humanities students, non-medical students, and so on. Right? So I am grouping this table based on which field? Come on, tell me quickly. Hurry up. Apurva,
Yes, ma'am.
give me the answer. Were you not paying attention?
Ma'am, grouping field is stream.
Yes, very good, Aditi. The grouping field, the field on which we are going to group all the records, that is stream. Now, next question. Subtotal field. Who will answer this? Ishana Arora is going to answer this question. Subtotal field. Which is the field on which we are going to apply the function? The manager, the principal asked that display the total stipend money spent on each stream. That means we have to add up all the stipend values in the stipend column. So subtotal field आपको बताना है which is the field on which I am going to apply the subtotal function. Ishana Arora is there. Ishana, are you there? Devyansh. You can also give me the answer through chat, students. And if anybody is hesitant in giving me the answer on a public platform over here, you can also send the answer to me personally on WhatsApp. Yes, Nandini.
Ma'am, average mark.
Are you sure it is average mark? Beta question पढ़ो. Display the total stipend money. मुझे stipend का total calculate करना है. So subtotal field will be which one?
Ma'am, I think average mark would be.
My dear girl, I am going to calculate the total of the stipend money. How much total stipend money are students getting? Okay, that is medical. There are two students and they are getting a stipend of 400 rupees each, Karan and John. Okay, so that means I am going to add up these two. That is 400 plus 400, which will give me 800, right? So for if I have to apply the subtotal function, which field am I going to apply it on? मैं किस field में subtotal function apply करूंगी? I think that I have given all of you enough pointers to understand which field are we going to apply the subtotal function on. We are going to apply the subtotal function on this field, that is stipend, because we are going to calculate a total of stipend. You will see it in a short while, right? And what function am I going to apply? The sum function, right? So now let us do it. Let's select the entire table. Okay, we'll go to data, we go to subtotals. Now in this group by, I am grouping. You can check the result from here. My grouping field is stream. So I'm going to select stream from here. Calculate subtotals for. So which is my subtotal field? It is stipend. So I'm going to select stipend and use function. Which type of function? Sum. So sum is already selected. Now I will be clicking on OK. And now you can see I'm just going to go to column, select optimal width, and you can see commerce sum. How much is the sum of that is total number of commerce students? There are 3 commerce students and they are getting a total of $1,050. Okay. Right now it is being displayed in dollars, but originally if you just choose to format it as rupees, you can do it from here by selecting INR. You can select all of these, like I can select this entire table column and click on this. So you can see this 1050 rupees total we are giving to commerce students. Humanities students are getting a total of 600 rupees. Medical students are getting a total of 800 rupees. Okay, non-medical are getting a total of 1450 and the total amount is 3900, which is a sum of these.
Ma'am, you can
This
also
one,
write in dollars.
you can write in dollars also, but because we live in India and most of our currency is rupees, so we select rupees. You can select any currency from here. This is English, India, rupees, and rupees is If you are using any Indian language like Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Maithili, it is there for all. Arabic also, Italian also, and you have all the currency symbols which are used worldwide. It is provided in this. You can just select that. So
Okay,
for
ma'am.
selecting, normally it will be selected as default dollar. Okay, but if you want to change it, you can quickly just type INR. And INR is what it will give you Indian rupee format, right? So this one is, yes, so we have selected the Indian rupee format over here. The grand total we are getting over here, right? This grand total is a sum of only these sums. This one, this one, this one, and this one. If you add up these values, you get grand sum, right? So this is the subtotal function. We are going to apply this on one more example. Now I'm just going to copy this from here. Okay, level 5. Just wait. Just give me a moment to remove this extra row from here. I'm just right clicking on this, selecting delete row. Okay, now what we are going to do is my question is now display the number of students in each stream. Display the number of students in each stream. How are we going to do this? Number of students in each stream. First select the entire table. Now we go to data, subtotals. Okay. First of all, we are going to group by which is my grouping field. Can anyone tell me? I'm now going to group based on which field?
Ma'am, stream.
Very good. We are going to group it on stream. Now the function which we are going to apply. Which function are we going to apply? Function calls हमें क्या करना है? Display number of students. So the function applied will be count. Very good. Very good. I didn't expect the answer, but you gave, so I'm very happy. And subtotal field कौन सा होगा? Function will be applied on this field. So which will be this field? कौन से field पे मुझे apply करना है subtotal? So that I can apply on any of the numeric fields, okay? Or I can apply it on the number field, the first one, because it contains numeric data. Remember always, count function always counts the number of cells which contain numeric data only, and count a function counts the number of cells which contain all types of data, right? So we are going to apply count function, hence we will be applying it on a numeric field, and in our case we are considering what? The number. So now let's start. Let's select this table, go to data, subtotals, group by. We have already selected everything, group by stream. So we will select stream from here. Calculate subtotal for which field? For number field. So select the number, first one, and use which function? We are using count function. So select count function. You can see that in this particular list box, count a function is not there. So we cannot use count a function. That is why we have, in order to use count function, and because count function have a limitation that they can only work on numeric field. So I have to select this one, and I'm going to click on OK. And let me just format it, and we'll go to format, columns, optimal width, and you can see. Now see, it is giving the answer in dollars, so you can just select it and remove that dollar sign. Okay, I've just removed the dollar sign from there. So now you will get only the count. So commerce count is 3. That is, there are 3 students in commerce branch. There are 2 students in humanities branch, 2 students in medical branch, and 3 students in non-medical branch. And total number of students is 10. If you add all of these, 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3, you will get 10. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Let us take one more example. I have one more table over here, and we're going to see this one also. And I'm going to select all these extra rows using keeping the control key pressed, and now I'll go to format, rows, and wait a second, I need to delete the rows. Yes, I'll go to the sheet tab, the sheet menu, and I'll just select on delete rows. So now I get this, and I'm going to format this. So now you can see this is the table named club, sports club. And these are the names of all the, let me just format this a little bit. These are the names of all the coaches who work in that sports club, those who provide coaching to the students. Okay, that is the players. So we can say, and there are their ages are given over here, and the sports which they specialize in. That is like Kukreja. Mr. Kukreja is good in karate, so he specializes in karate. So there are how many people? How many coaches are there who coach in karate? That is one, two, then three. Three people are there, right? So my question is, display the number of coaches for each type of game or each type of sports. I want to display the number of coaches for each type of sports. This is gender. You can just do it like this. Okay. So display the number of coaches for each type of sports. How are we going to apply the subtotal function here? Firstly, grouping field. Secondly, subtotal field and function. These three things you need to reduce. पहले मुझे बताओ कि grouping field कौन सी होगी इसमें? Which will be my grouping field?
Ma'am, count.
I am just read this. Display number of coaches for each type of sports. I have to count how many coaches are there for karate, how many teach squash, how many train the students in basketball, how many swimming coaches are there. Okay, like this I have to count. Number of coaches for each sports. What will be my
Ma'am, we
grouping?
have to.
What will be the field on which, based on which I am going to group the records?
Ma'am, sports.
Sports.
Exactly, very
Ma'am,
good.
sports.
Sports. Subtotal field means, first you tell me the function which I am going to apply. Function कौन सा apply करेंगे? Display the number of coaches.
Count.
Count.
Function.
Very good.
Count.
Count. Now you
Count.
people are getting a hang of this. I'm happy. Subtotal field. अब किस पे apply करेंगे subtotal field? Count को किस पे apply करेंगे?
Coach ID.
Very good. Coach
Ma'am,
ID.
numeric.
Yes, numeric value, and coach ID is the most suitable one for counting. This one, right? So we are going to apply it there. So our data is here. Now we just need to select our table, go to data, subtotals. Firstly, we have to group by. We have the information here. Our grouping field is what? Sports. So we select, sorry, not this one. Grouping field is sports. Calculate subtotal, that is apply the subtotal on which field? Coach ID, and use the function count. Click on OK. And here also I'm going to just set the And you can see these dollars, so you can just select each of these because these are not dollars, they are not currency values, so you can just click on them as being numbers, right? So and remove the decimal places, and now you can see there are 2 coaches for basketball, there are 3 coaches for karate, there are 2 coaches for squash and 3 for swimming, and a total number of coaches are 10. Thus has. Okay, let's take one more example, it will be pretty clear to you then. So I'm going to again select this table and let's go back to this sheet, and I'm going to remove this extra row. We'll go to sheet, delete rows. Okay, and now my question is display the average pay, that is salary, which each average salary paid each read the question very carefully. Display the average pay paid to the coaches belonging to each sports type. Means I want to find out the average salary paid to all the karate coaches. I want to see the average salary paid to all the coaches who teach squash. I want to see the average salary paid to the swimming coaches, basketball coaches, and so on. So again, it comes to this. What is my grouping field? My function which I am going to apply, and where will I apply the function? That is subtotal field. जल्दी बताओ. I have
Ma'am,
explained
grouping
the question.
salary.
Yes, that means pay because the name here is pay. Very good, but you guessed the answer correct. So pay is my grouping field. Sorry. Pay will not be your grouping field. You are grouping based on which? Read the question.
Sports.
Display the average pay paid to the coaches belonging to each sports type. That means grouping field will be sports. Function which I am applying is average, and the subtotal field will be pay because I am going to calculate average of pay. Now select the entire table, go to data, go to subtotals, first group by. So I'm going to first display this part. Group by based on what? Sports. So I'm going to select sports from here. Second function which I'm going to subtotal field is pay. So select pay from here, and the function is average. So I'm selecting average, click on OK, and now just set this as 20. Go to format, columns, optimal width, and you get average pay, average salary given to basketball coaches is 1600. Okay, average pay given to karate coaches 1100. Then squash it is this much, swimming it is. I hope subtotal is clear to everyone.